Daunting prospect, Leverkusen, 42-game unbeaten run. Do you guys believe that you've got what it takes to beat them by 2-0, 3-0 even?
I mean, daunting. I would say it's a nice challenge to have. Obviously, it's very very demanding challenge, but we have to believe. I think there's no other way to look at the situation. Obviously, they're in a very strong positions when it comes to, I think, their confidence as a team, being unbeaten in the league, already crowned a German champion. They, I think, as well in the German Cup progressed really well. So yeah, they're a very good side. They proved it in the recent games, the whole season. But I would say we have to believe, and at the same time, really nice challenge to have. We experienced already some games under pressure when it comes to European competitions in the previous round and in the previous years. So sometimes we manage actually to create special magical evenings. So hopefully tomorrow will be a similar situation.
Yeah, you alluded to it there. Your record in Europe over the last 3 years, particularly at home, has been very good. But is this the toughest challenge of your European campaigns so far?
It's a challenge. It's a really nice challenge to have. I think when you play games against teams like Leverkusen, who are in a really good moment, who are champions of the country already, I think it's a nice challenge to have. And as a player, as a team, as a club, I think we just love to actually be in that position in the quarterfinals of the European competition, playing against really strong sides. So I think really nice challenge to have.
Obviously, no Paquetá suspended, no Emerson suspended. So how encouraging was it to see Jared out there training today? And do you think he'll be able to start?
Obviously, I was pleased, and I believe all the teammates were pleased to see Jared out there on the pitch training with us. I think it always it's almost the same situation with almost every single player that we have. We want to have as big group as we can because we have really good players within the team, within the squad. So Jad is obviously a very important player to us, but see how it goes tomorrow. But hopefully he'll be able to help us as well.
Lucas, happy birthday for tomorrow first.
Thank you.
I remember seeing you play in Europe with Arsenal in 2010, so 14 years ago. Do you believe that you've got more European nights ahead of you, one way or another, beyond tomorrow night?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe obviously getting older, but at the same time I feel really good physically and mentally. So I believe that I'm in general in a really good shape, and I'm in a good place when it comes to the team. So hopefully there'll be some few more special occasions in my career.
Can I just ask, you played very well last week in the first leg, and for 83 minutes West Ham kept a clean sheet. Of all of the goals that have beaten you in your career, was that one of the more sickening ones because you'd played so well and because it came through a crowd of players? I think you were obviously unsighted, so it must have been galling for you to see that one go in.
Every goal is it gives you a bit of a bad feeling. So I don't know, the way I approach things on the football pitch, I always try to just stay focused and try to do my job the best that I can. And if I let the goals in, everyone hurts pretty in a pretty the same way for me. So.
Hi, Lucas.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse said in an interview yesterday that maybe you guys showed them a bit too much respect in the first leg. Is that something you've spoken about, and how can you do something different tomorrow?
Yeah, we've spoken about it when it comes to the first game and the way we analyzed it, and yeah, I think there were certain moments maybe we were defending a little bit too deep. And then maybe we were sometimes not brave enough with when we regained the possession of the ball. So I think the little moments in the game that were there in the first game, I don't think we used it well. So hopefully in the tomorrow's game we'll be able to recognize the situations a little bit better, and then maybe put a little bit more pressure on the opposition, and then at the same time use the ball better when we were gaining. So like small things, small details. So hopefully you'll see us in a better shape when it comes to the game tomorrow night.
Just in terms of what you saw from Leverkusen, we know they've been amazing all season, but having played against them, what is it about them that makes them so difficult to play against?
No, I would say obviously keeping possession of the ball, that's one thing. And on the other thing, I believe they're very patient with the ball, so they don't really force situations when they even get in and around the box. They try to always look for the best solution, for the best pass. So I think as a team, defending team, you have to be just aware almost a lot of blind runs, a lot of players inside the box trying to play little 1-2s and things like that. So yeah, that's one of the things that it's hard to defend against as a team. But I think we done pretty good job in the first game. We got caught actually on 2 set pieces. So hopefully, tomorrow night we are smarter because of the things that we did in the first one. So hopefully we'll be able to use it well tomorrow.
Lucas, just on Jared, you've been a teammate for a long time now. How impressed have you been with the progress he's made this season?
No, I mean, since he joined us, really, I think just every single game, every single season has been like getting better and better. So it's great to see his progress, his development. He became a really important part of the team of the football club. He's been called up a few times now with the England team as well. So it's nice to see progress of the player that joined us from the championship and just basically develop every single game, every single season. So I think it's a I wouldn't say like great achievement because he's still got a long career ahead of him, but just the way he is, like, so grounded, focused on the work and things like that. So I think it's great to see that he's being rewarded with the performances that he delivers every single game.
Ahead of comebacks, ahead of tomorrow night, I want to take your mind back to lockdown when it's against Tottenham, and West Ham scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a historic game, of course.
Yeah.
Does a match like that give you confidence ahead of tomorrow?
No, I think the confidence that we can take from is basically experiences that we've had as a group, as a team in the recent years. Because like I said before, there were games when we were like down and we had to come back. That game is one of the best examples as well, where I don't think it ever actually happened in the Premier League for the team to be 3-0 down and then score within 15 or 10 minutes to be able to throw the game. So we experienced some great moments as a team in the recent history. So hopefully that experience will help us, prepare mentally in a good way for tomorrow's game.
Okay. Lucas, you were just speaking about the fact that it's been discussed about showing too much respect and how things need to change from last week. Antonio showed a few times last week that you can cause them problems going forward. Is there a feeling that it needs to be full on the front foot early on to try and get back in, or is that a dangerous way to
No, I think the game plan has to be smart. You cannot, go too crazy from the very first minute. They're really, good team, strong team, dangerous team. So you have to, be smart about the right moments, stay compact at the same time, and you don't have to rush. I believe you have to first and foremost focus on controlling well the game, the tempo of the game, and then choose the right moments to attack, maybe set pieces, things like that. So even like if you look at the last week game, Leverkusen actually scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, so they actually shown that it's possible. So we don't have to actually rush anything when it comes to tomorrow's game. I think we have to just stay in the game as long as we can. If we can score early, that's great. If not, then just be patient and just try to take our opportunities when they come.
In terms of being smart as well, there's always a lot of talk in Europe about dark arts or being aware of what players are going to do, putting pressure on referees. There was a bit of talk of it last week with Paqueta's booking. How different is that sort of side of things in Europe as it is to the Premier League?
Oh, to be honest, I never really paid attention to that. I don't know how to answer this. From my experience, I can only see obviously there are like small differences when it comes to the referees in how they referee in Europe and how they referee in the Premier League. Some things maybe they're allowed a little bit more, some things are allowed a little bit less. But I don't know. Managing, I think just in general, managing the game in a right way to help us get the best result. I think that's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas, what's your message to the fans ahead of tomorrow night? Because they're going to want to try and generate atmosphere similar to the match.
Message. I have to say they've always been, when it comes to European nights, they've always been there with us. They've always been able to create something special, something magical. So from our side, for sure, we'll do our best to make sure that we deliver good performance, and who knows what can happen. But yeah, I believe it's going to be great atmosphere tomorrow night, that's for sure.
And last one here.
When I interviewed you here a few months ago, you said that your son is a football obsessive, and he always in home games he likes to have pictures with
used to
he really likes. Has he told you who he wants to have a picture with tomorrow from the Leverkusen?
No, he hasn't mentioned anything like that. No, he hasn't mentioned anyone. No. He loves Premier League. I don't think he's that aware of any other leagues, but yeah. So he hasn't asked me for anyone from tomorrow's game. All right.
We'll start with Gary first, and then we'll go to Mike. But Gary, if you want to get us off and underway.
Hello, David. Thanks for your time.
Hi there.
Great to see Jared out there training. I assume he did the whole training session. Can we expect to see him involved tomorrow night?
No, it was great to see Jared out there. It's the first time we've had him back out. Not sure yet. Not sure. We had Calvin out today as well. I'm not sure about him either. Alfonso, I've had him out as well, but I'm not sure about him either. So they'll all be pretty late calls tomorrow.
The fact that Jared is obviously an extremely important player for you, and this is an extremely big game, perhaps the biggest game so far in your season, would that be a factor in your thinking about whether to risk him if he was borderline or not?
Well, we'd never risk any players if I thought they had a chance of injury or it wasn't right. I think the players' welfare is always the most important thing. But I think the answer generally, you always want your best players back in. Obviously, I want goal scorers back in as well, and Jared's been that for us this season.
And am I right there? Is this the biggest and toughest game potentially of your season so far?
Well, normally comes the end of the season where the biggest games come, because if you're playing big games at the end of the season, it's been that you've been relatively successful because you've got to play good teams or other teams who've done the same thing. So yes, it was a huge game for us against Leverkusen last week, and we've got another big game on Thursday evening.
But what you love about football, if you're involved in football nights like this, and the London Stadium under floodlights as well.
Yeah, I think I think when you're getting words like quarterfinals and semi-finals, etc., is exciting. Obviously, the finals what you want to get to and win it, but I think you've got to go through all the process to get there. We have to go through the process, and it'll be a difficult game, but something which we've got belief that we can find a way to try and make it.
Mike?
David, what's the best comeback that you've presided over as a manager? We were talking to Lucas earlier on about that Tottenham game.
Yeah, that would be... I'm glad you mentioned it, because I might not have thought any other than that. Yeah, that game, that was an incredible comeback that night. I just remember Lanzini's goal in the last minute, really. So it's difficult to remember, great comebacks. Obviously there's been a few in my career, but thinking off the top of my head just now, I can't quite get one.
It's a strange world where you win one of only 5 trophies in West Ham's entire history, where you finish 6th and 7th in the Premier League, where you get to a semi-final one season, win a trophy the next season, get to a quarter-final in Europe this year, and you're perceived in some quarters as being under pressure. Do you feel under pressure?
Not at all. But as a manager, you have to accept that your job is like that. So I'm really enjoying my job. It's been really good this season so far. It's been great. We've had lots of ups, some downs as well, but in the main it's been really positive.
Shane?
Hi David. Just off that Tottenham game, does that give you a lot of belief for tomorrow? Because I was looking back on the stats. It was actually 3-0 to Tottenham with 10 minutes to go.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said to somebody earlier that you have to say we went to Leverkusen and it got to 83rd minute, before they scored the first goal. It might take us that long before we can do it, but we have to have that patience and that level of trying to find a way of winning the game, or certainly get ourselves back a couple of goals in front before the end of 90 minutes. So we'll try and do it. We'll do everything we can to do it, but also we'll need to be careful, mindful how we do it, not overexpose, but do a good job. We've done a good job at Leverkusen for long periods, but obviously we couldn't quite see it through.
Obviously you'll be out without Emerson, Paqueta, maybe Bowen, touching guard you just mentioned. Against Seville, it was Yarmolenko who was the unlikely hero. Is that your message to the team? One of you could be a hero today.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because I think it is, and I think the European games quite often, substitutes make the difference, or somebody scores a goal which can change the game completely. I think Pablo might have come on as a substitute in Alkmaar last year, and Pablo Fornals came on and scored the goal which got us sort of safe in getting to the final last year. So I think it can happen, and you never know who that could be.
Jack?
David, you would have seen the images and video of Leverkusen celebrating from the weekend. Any sort of hopes from your side that they might have overindulged a tiny bit?
The truth is, I didn't see anything from I'd read that they'd won the league and whatnot, and they won the game convincingly, but I've not seen anything other than what I read, actually, and rightly so. Why would you not celebrate? To be the champions, you should celebrate, you should enjoy it, because the moments go very quickly. Hope they've been drinking those big giant glasses of beer that size what they get in Germany.
A couple of hangovers still lingering. Mike mentioned it in terms of the success you've had, and still there being some pressure around, and there's obviously a decision to be made at some point over your contract, whether it gets signed. Do you think tomorrow night has a significant bearing on that?
No, I don't think so at all. Well, unless not got a bearing on my decision. No, let's be fair. It wasn't too long that we were talking about trying to avoid relegation.
John?
James Ward-Prowse said that he maybe showed them a bit too much respect in the first leg, and Lucas has been saying need a bit more bravery, but the stage is set for all that, I assume, to be a different sort of West Ham.
I think that I still believe that you're playing against one of the best teams in Europe at this moment in time. If certainly a team which are going to be in the Champions League next year look as if they would be quite comfortable in that company. When you look at the way Dortmund have performed last night and Bayern Munich are performing at the moment, and this team are above them in the league. So I think we should give them respect, and we'll try and do our best tomorrow night to not to give them too much. But ultimately, I think they deserve the respect because of the results.
Do you disagree with what was said then? Do you think that's an unfair?
With what?
With too much. That West Ham did give them too much respect.
No, I think we respect every team, but I think it would be hard not to respect a team who's 15 or 16 points clear in the Bundesliga.
Better than Bayern Munich. It's quite a yardstick, isn't it?
Well, it's a thing. Bayern Munich are normal. The German. So not much more than we do, but probably most years Bayern Munich and maybe Dortmund have been favourites over the years. So they've done a brilliant job, Leverkusen, to overtake them.
So it could be another cagey game. I mean, obviously the first goal is extremely important.
Yeah, you never know in football how the games are going to go. Obviously we have to do a really good job on them if we can. We've done a good job in the first game, not quite enough. And it's the thing when we play the big teams, you play Arsenals or Man Cities of this world, you have to find ways of trying to get results, and we tried very hard last week, we came close, and we'll try again this week.
Malik?
Just to go back to Jared, obviously anytime you haven't got your top scorer it's a blow, and anytime you've got him it's a boost, but given you're also missing Lucas, if you do have him tomorrow, how much of a difference does that make in terms of how you can set the team up, what you can go and try and do to hurt Leverkusen?
Well, I think most people know exactly what Jared's done for us over the season and other seasons also. So if he came back, it would give us a real lift as well. I think it would give the crowd a lift as well. But overall, we've lost Lucas through suspension, and we've had Jared out with injury, so we have to try and find ways of making some magic happen, and we'll have to try and do that tomorrow.
You mentioned coming from fighting relegation not so long ago. I mean, you've had so much success over the last couple of years, but there's been so much adversity, I suppose, sprinkled within that. It's never been kind of a plain upward curve, if you like. Yeah. Does that help you tomorrow night in compared to, say, Leverkusen have just been flying all year?
Yeah, but maybe West Ham are a different sort of club. This place here has never been smooth at any time, I don't think. I think it's been a club who's bobbed up and down. I think this has probably had its high standing for a long time in the last few years. So the people who watch West Ham and the people who come here will probably know that it's been part of it. That I don't think MD's coming here not to have a smooth time. I think it's always got a tinge of something else about it. It's a club which has been relegated and it has been up and down, but it's never been in Europe 3 times in a row. I know that, and our plans to try and make it 4.
Any more?
This is a very random question, but ahead of your team talk tomorrow, do you plan on doing anything different, whether it's like motivational video package from club legends, family, staff?
No, we're not quite there yet. I think the players have got to keep focusing on what we've done. Obviously, we had a bit of something in the final, but I have to say, no, I think we're focused for the game, try to get everything prepared right and be as good as we possibly can on the night.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.